Hey guys, I'll explain how to run the 5-1 rotation in volleyball. This is one of the vague and toughest video. I will do my level best in explaining it in a proper way. And the overlap rules, those are the things which is universally followed. The setter switch, player switches, right? That number two and the points number 2 and 3. That I have adjusted in a way that how we can adjusted it based on our team strength. Okay, so we'll start with the overlap rules. So overlap rules is based on the zone numbers. So it is pretty straightforward. Okay, this is the zone numbers, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6. The overlap rule is number one should not go forward number two, or should not go beyond this number six position. Okay, 2 should not cross 3 and 2 should not cross 1. 3 should not cross 4 or 3 should not cross 2 or 3 should not cross 6. Same thing for 4 and same thing for 5. 4 should not cross 5 and 4 should not cross 3. 5 should not cross 4, 5 should not cross 6. 6 has three things. 6 should not cross 5, 6 should not cross 1, 6 should not cross 3. Okay, so said that I'll write down another valid format. 4 3, say 2 can be here, 1 can be, sorry, 2 can be here, 1 can stand here, 6 can stand here, 5 can stand here. If you see this, right, it's not violating the overlap rules. 1 is not going beyond 2 and 2 is not going beyond 1. Same with, so basically they without violating the overlap rules, this is one valid position, but obviously will not be standing like this. But this is one thing, or else something can happen 4 3 5 6 2 1 1. This is also a valid position. So basically we need to make sure this thing, the overlap rules, what I explained, is not being violated. Okay, so that's the thing. So based on that, we will see how the setter switches and player switches works. Okay, and one thing to consider is with 5-1, right? 5-1 is like one setter and 5 attackers. Okay, so that is what 1-5 stands for. Whatever switches I'm going to explain is based on the serve receive position. Okay, let's consider we are receiving the serve. Let's see how the setter is going to stand. Okay, so the first position is setter. Setter will start the rotation here. The very during the match, right, the first position of setter will be here. 4 3 2 5 6. This is how it will be. Okay, this is the starting position. And okay, when setter in zone 1, right, what we have to do is, okay, the thumb rule is when we receive the serve, we should isolate the setter. That's the thumb rule. Okay, we will see how to achieve that. So the number 2 should come here, number 6 should be, okay, number 2 should be here, sorry, my bad. Let's say number 2 should be here, number 6 should be here, number 5 should be here, number 4 should be here, 3 can be here. Okay, setter, right, setter will be standing here. Okay, so setter will not be taking the first pass. Once the person tosses the ball, right, setter should run from here and go somewhere here. Okay, so that's the first setter switch. So the next position for the setter is zone 6. So If the setter is in zone 6, right, this is how we can adjust its location. Okay, 4 3 2 can stand behind the line. 5 and 4 5 can stand between 4 and 3. Two can so one can stand between 1 and 3, and setter can be hiding behind this guy 3. Okay, so what will happen is, we are, so as I said, the thumb rule is like, isolating the setter, right? Number 3 should isolate the setter. As soon as the ball is tossed, the setter will go from here to here and do whatever, from this position setter will come to this position and do the work. Same with zone 5. Zone 5 is this position, right? Say the setter is like all the way here. So again, 4 3 2. Instead of hiding behind 3, this guy will hide behind 4. 6 and 1 will be here. 6 should like move a little bit here, and 1 should move between 3 and 2. And setter will move in this direction. Okay, and do the work. Okay. So basically, when we are receiving the serve, we should not let the setter take the first pass. Okay, that we can 100% do. So by isolating it. Okay, we have other. So now we will see the setter position in the friend zone. Okay, the starting zone is zone 4. The setter will be standing in the leftmost corner. Okay, of the front row, and the other player should position them like this. Okay. With zone 3, it's pretty straightforward. Zone setter will be here, so the setter can stand here. There is no need of isolation. And if the setter is in zone 2, instead of left corner, this setter will be in the rightmost corner, and the other players has to adjust accordingly. Okay, so that's how the setter will be isolating him like himself while receiving the serve. Okay. Same thing is, we need to do the same. We need to see the same zones. How the setter will stand and. Okay, so the trickiest section is here. Okay, so after we receive the first pass, right? Say, so far what we saw is how we receive the serve and push it to the opponent side. Okay, so after that happened, what will happen is, we have two variants where the setter is in the back row. When setter is in the back row, what setter has to do is, setter has to go to this position after receiving, after like playing the first ball, the complete life cycle, right? BRSA, the BRSA is not applicable while receiving the serve, because there is no need of blocking. It will be R, receive, set and attack. Okay, when we do a receive, set and attack, what we have to do is, setter should position himself here. Okay, that's the first thing. And the front zone players has to move here, 4 3 2. Okay, 6 will be here, 5 will be here. So in this phase, in during the block, what we have to do is, again we are reiterating to the BRSA life cycle. Okay, so here I said, right, the number 1, the zone, these two should volunteer for the first pass. The same is applicable here. So the ideally what happens is, the players will try, like, they most of the time they try to attack, right? When they are trying to attack, number 2, 3 and 4 will block. Setter, the responsibility of setter is first to collect the drops. Okay, because here nobody is isolating the setter. Okay, until block and receive, the setter has to be here. Okay, most of the balls, right, this 6 and 5 should be able to kind of isolate setter, but we are not targeting that now. Okay, so we'll try, the best case is either 5 or 6 taking the first pass. If once, say for example, right, let's talk about the first pass, the ball is coming here either in this 5 or 6 zone. What will happen is, it crosses the block, somewhere it comes here. So suddenly what has to happen is, So from this position, this will something will get converted to 4 3 2. 5 and 6 will be standing somewhere here, and setter will be going to the front row and doing the work. So this is what is going to happen when the setter is in the back row, which means setter is in the zone 5, 6 and 1, right? This is what happened. After the first receiving the serve, the setter should switch to this position. The setter should take care of the drops in this zone or take the first pass, like in if first pass is not coming, they have to do the like setting. Okay. The second case is where the setter has to take the first pass. When the setter has to take the first pass, the person standing in this fifth position, right, number 5, they should be able to set. Okay, so that's the reason we need to make sure the number 5 is always libero. Okay, number 6, right, we have a advantage. So if the person is more agile, right, keep the person here. So this person has to do the middle back. Also, the person who can do the back row attack, right, that person has to stand here. If we want to do a back row attack, you should be more agile. You need to make sure you are collecting the drops effectively. If you're And the second thing what will happen is like if they are not, so basically, right, this person number 6 has to be has two responsibilities. He has to act as a middle back, he has to act as a back row attacker. This is true when the setter is in the back row. Okay, the dynamics will change little bit when the setter goes to the front. The setter will be standing here. Okay, the other players, right, 4 and 3 will be standing here. 5, 6, 1 will be standing here. When the setter comes to the front zone, right, setter's responsibility is to block and set. Okay, whereas in this when the setter is in the back row, he has the responsibility of receive and set. Okay, that's one thing to consider. This is too much of theory, but we need to like bring this in action when we play the game. Okay, but in order to do that, we need to know what we have to do, right? Without that, we'll be stuck. We'll be in a frozen mode. So I'm just trying to avoid that. Okay, so and again, so libero, middle back row attacker, they are building blocks actually. Okay, the defense has to be super. So try to watch these videos multiple times, try to digest this. Okay, the thumb rule is only the back row players should take the first pass. Okay, second thing is we need to isolate the setter as much as possible. Okay, and third thing is we should first focus on we should be agile for every pass. We have to move the block. The first question is we have to stand in the blocking position. We have, and these two folks should be standing in the position in a way to collect the drops. As soon as the block goes, once we come to the receive position, right, 5 6 1 should take care of the receiving, 4 3 should come exactly here. Okay, they should be ready enough to do the attacking. Okay, so there are like combinations we have to achieve. And when say for example, right, there could be cases where number 4 or number 3 or number 2 takes the first pass. That's when middle back has the opportunity to hit the ball. Okay, so we need to make sure if this person is taking the first 4 3 2 or taking the first pass, we need to make sure back row attacker is ready to finish it off. And again, basically this is how the game will run. We need to make sure this is not enough. Okay, this knowledge, it's definitely not enough. This is like kind of the initial insights of how to run a 5-1. As we progress, right, we will share, we will understand, we will digest, and we will change the strategy based on our team strength. Okay, in order to play this, we need like 5 core attackers. To be honest, we don't have 5 core attackers. We are lagging in the number of attackers. So we need to have 2 defense. Instead of having 2 setters, we are going to play 2 defense. That's the thing. Okay, and we will have one strong defense in the playing six, and we will have one libero outside. So and again, like whoever playing in the friend zone, right? If you're not able to do a back row attack optimally, prepare yourself to switch yourself with libero. Okay, because once you go to the front row, you should always blocking attacking. You should like keep moving fast. You need energy as well. Okay, if you are playing all 6 zones, sometimes we might lose energy. Okay, and the thing is, right, if you are standing back, say for example, you will end up standing in numbers zone 6 sometimes. If you are standing in zone 6, your first responsibility is middle back. You have to move fast. Moving fast, blocking, attacking, all it's tough actually. So if you need to do this friend zone responsibility in an optimal way, we have to cultivate the mindset of like switching with the libero. We have to like be okay with it. Okay, so let's try to follow this in tomorrow's game and see how what best we can like achieve. Okay, so and again there is one other thing. Okay, that I don't want to add more here. That another thing is player switches. So one quick example I can give with player switches. Okay, player switches, say for example, for we are say you are standing in 4-3-2. This is the position, right? Okay, say if you are a person who can do the outside at so okay, I'm just say for example 4-3-2-1-5. Sorry, so this is the position, right? So by rotation you are here, but think you are hitting optimally from this zone. So what we have to do is we after we play the first pass, right, after we receive the ball for the first time, we should adjust ourselves. So the 4 should go here, 2 should go here, and 3 can be here, or 3 can move here, 2 can be here. So the overlap rule is applicable only while we serve for the first time or when we receive for the very first ball in the rally. Has we have in that we have to follow the overlap rule. Otherwise, the person in this front row can switch as they wish. The same thing is applicable for back row as well. Okay, say for example, if you are standing in the back row, you are not you are standing in number zone 6. You are not agile, so you have to switch between these two. 5 should come here, 6 should go here. Consider 5 being the more agile person, right? We have to do that. We have to adjust. We have to understand who the strength of each other, and these switches should happen. This should happen during the course of the game. We should have that mindset to move very frequently. Okay, that is what we are trying to achieve tomorrow. Let's see how best we can do.